Okay, I'm gonna start my smoker. I'm gonna do a little bit of wood pellet. And then I'm putting hay.
Do you just fill it up?
About there. And then I usually let it sit for a little bit. And then I'll test the temperature of the smoke, if it's hot. Like it's pretty hot. So then I'll put some like green grass on it. So this is where I set it. So that's where it stays and lives while I'm using it. When I approach the hive, I always approach from behind, and I'll usually look at the landing board and seeing how the activity is, seeing what they're bringing in. Are they bringing in pollen? Or I see them trophallaxis. Are they transferring between each other quickly? Then I also look on the ground, and I'm looking for bees, like how many bees are crawling. So we're going to do this hive. And so all of these boxes on top are not part of the colony. These are all honey supers that I extracted, and I let these bees clean them. They were the lucky bees. Okay, so this is a telescoping lid, and then this is an inner cover. This is a spacer. So I've been feeding fondant. Okay, this is a spacer. Little air vent built in if I need it. So this colony has a new queen that I just released 2 weeks ago, I think, and I haven't been in since then, so I'm hoping that she is all good and laying. Yeah, it's a little warm. I'm going to put green grass on it. Much better. A little bit of smoke. So all my my tools have been flamed, and they've all been sterilized. So I'm going to pull the frame on the side, which should be all honey. So these are workers. We have new drones. There's a queen cup. So I always look in the queen cup. Nothing. Usually there's a drone on the outside. I bet there's a drone on the other side. No, all workers. So there's no, there's just pollen. And this is honey, capped honey. Capped honey. This is the shiny stuff is nectar. It's not quite honey yet. There she is. There's the queen. And there's a drone. So here is a drone that I'm going to mark. Smoker, still going. So here's white, for just for this year. I want to make sure that it's going, but not too much.
Hold on.
Okay, so this fella has been marked. And then I've got JZBZ cage, which is my preferred cage. Oops. Then I'm going to pop the queen in there. Not a queen, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Put the cap on. So if this is a queen, what I usually do is if I have a spacer, I'll just set the queen not quite in the middle, but off to the side. And then I will just plop her right in between two frames like that for 3 days. And then I come in and see how they're treating her. And if I can brush them off the cage and they're non-aggressive, I like to actually release her and see how they react to her once I put her on a frame. Another thing you can do if you don't have a spacer is you move your frames apart, and then you stick the cage in between the frames and always have the candy facing down. In case the candy gets kind of liquidy and soft, you don't want it to come down and get on the queen. And then you wedge it in between two frames, but being careful that you don't stick it right in a bunch of honey or something like that, or bury it in a bunch of wax. And you usually want to put it to where all the brood is, because the brood's where the nurse bees are, and the nurse bees will care for the queen a lot better than old foragers, and drones definitely won't. There you go, buddy. Marked drone. There's the queen. And if you look down in there, you can see eggs. Any chance you can see those? So then there's little larvae in there. And then up here, there's pupa. So this is drone down here. This is worker. Worker's smaller. And so she's doing good. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up this frame, because this had cat brood on it, and that's what I want. What is this one? Okay, this frame has the most cat brood on it, so there's a good chance that it has most of the nurse bees, and that's what I want for my Varroa test. Very, very important though, because I want to make sure that she's not on here. Okay, so she's in the cage. So now I know I don't have to worry that I'm going to injure her. And the bees that fly are foragers, and that's cool. They can fly. So there's half. And then I do one more, let them fly. Alright, so there is a half cup of bees. Okay. So I've got 300 bees in here. I've got my alcohol, so I'm gonna schwarzel. I do this for about a minute. Okay. Keep going. Keep schwarzeling. Still smoking.
And then
Yeah,
you
did I name the equipment yet?
just that.
Okay, so
you-
then, yeah, this is a deep, and this is a screen bottom board, and then this is a IPM slider. Got some ants going.
Whoa.
So then you open it up, and you spin it. I like to go up, do that a few times. Okay. So you look down in there, I see 6.
Okay.
So I go 6 and I divide it by 3, so that's per 100. So I have 2 mites per 100, which is 2%, which is acceptable. Okay, so Varroa mite test. When I'm doing a split, if the colony gets way too big, kind of in the spring, it's looking, if it's like 90% full and it's looking like it's going to swarm, I'll go ahead and split it to relieve pressure. Also increases my colony numbers. Yeah, she's out. I'll take a frame that has the nicest looking swarm cells. Ideally, I only want 2 or 3, and I put that in the middle. And then I take a frame of brood from one colony, and then a frame of brood for another colony covered in bees, and I put it on either side of that queen cell. And then I'll usually put 1 frame of resources that's like nectar and honey, and then I'll have 1 empty frame, and that's my nuke. And then if I'm keeping that nuke in the same apiary, I always take another frame of bees, brood frame from another colony, and I'll shake all the bees in there, because a lot of those bees are going to fly back to the original colonies, and I want to get the numbers up. But if I'm taking it to another apiary 3+ miles away, I'll just go ahead and take it. So here's a swarm trap. Sit that there. Now they're really confused. I'm out of screen bottoms, so. First frame. Looking for the queen. Yeah, so this is full of eggs. It's this really dark comb. I think this is the last season for this comb. But I got eggs, and I got, yeah, it's full of eggs. That's all eggs. There's some cat brood, honey, nectar. Lovely. So this was a,
Ooh, wow.
this frame was foundationless. See my fishing line? So yeah, this is all, there she is.
Ooh, wanna catch her and
marker?
yeah.
All right, so here's another way of marking. So then you push her up against the little cage there. You do the same thing with the pin. Make sure it's not all goopy. And you just do a little dot on the thorax.
That seems easier.
Yeah, it's just another way. So while she's just chilling and that little dot's drying, I'm just going to keep transferring, festooning. So this is a medium.
Look at that.
This was foundationless also.
That's how is there so much on the bottom like that?
Well, because this is not a deep frame. This is
Do you
a
have to
medium
take
frame.
that off?
No, that's fine.
Why did they do that?
Because that's how they festoon when they're building wax. So she's ready. So I go ahead and I just pop it down like that. And I go, think. And she's walking down in there. There she goes. The frame is still smoking.
What's that for?
It's plastic. So she is marked if she would be in here, which I don't think she is, after looking 2 times. No, like maybe 4 times. And if I see her, then I'm super excited and I'm going to pinch these queen cells that are in here. Queen cell. That's their new queen. There's a couple of them. So the fact that I released a queen and there's still big fat queen cells tells me that they chased her away.
What was that?
That is a queen call.
What?
Yeah, that is the sound of a queen.
What?
Yeah, did you hear it?
I did.
Yeah.
No, that's a drone.
That could be the sound of the queen inside the cage or inside the cell.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.